Karl Simich, as you probably know, is Managing Director and CEO of Sandfire Resources and has been for some time. He joined Sandfire in 2007 and has overseen the discovery and development of the company's high-grade DeGrussa and Monty copper gold mines in WA. And more recently, he's led the global expansion of the company project portfolio, which now includes advanced copper developments in Botswana and also the USA. So welcome, Karl.
Thanks very much for the introduction. Thanks very much, Bill and Dominic, for inviting me to present at PayDirt, and nice to hear from Bill as well about his views on what is happening at the moment. I've already just about finished my presentation, given that we're going to be working to a strict timetable. I think we're a little bit behind time. So I'm not going to spend too much time, but certainly wonderful to be here. I think the 19th conference of PayDirt, I'm sure I was at the first one. And as talked about with respect to Sandfire, I think it was my joys with this have been, it was a company that I started about some 25 years ago as a private company and has been a public company for some time. So I was a shareholder that became the person then running it from 2007. I look forward to talking to you about our update, particularly about what we're doing in Africa, in Botswana. We're really excited about that. And also very excited about our business in terms of really moving into the next phase of being very much, and I know it's a big cliche at the moment, there's future-facing metals. We're in one of the oldest businesses in the world in the copper business, but it is a modern metal and it is a metal for the future. And I'm really excited about where it's positioned and the future prognosis for that commodity. So I look forward to updating on that. Disclaimer, you can obviously read at your leisure. Sandfire, look, we've had a very a fantastic last probably 6 or 7 years, but certainly in the last 12 months, it's been a fantastic for us. Yesterday we announced our full year results, and we had records essentially across the whole platform in terms of operating physical performance, in terms of cost structures, in terms of revenues and profits and the resultant to net profits and dividends. So they were outstanding results that were released yesterday, up sort of 132% in terms of net profit and 80% in terms of dividends. We are very much focused on, I suppose, future metals, or we're very much focused on copper. And at the moment, we've been working through a bit of a transition into very much this internationally global, diversified, sustainable mining company. The one big thing for us, as I said at the moment, is our drive and our push into what we believe is a significantly prospective region of Africa in Botswana, and we very much are early stage first mover status and really putting significant amount of work in terms of boots on ground there. A lot of active business development, looking at other opportunities, and also very active in terms of exploration. We've spent over $60 million Australian last year, and we'll spend in excess of $50 million this year, and a lot of that will be in Africa. We are essentially gearing ourselves up to be across the globe. We are looking to chase opportunities where those opportunities may be. We don't get to choose where they are. We have to go and find them. So it takes a significant amount of effort, energy and work and discipline and dedication to do that. So we go to where the opportunities are. Clearly, we've got a big presence in Australia. We're one of the largest tenement holders in Australia with some 15 to 18,000 square kilometres. We are the largest tenement holder in Botswana. And we have a presence in North America, particularly in Montana, where we're pursuing another project we're looking to develop there as well. So we run 2 copper mines here in Western Australia, DeGrussa and Monty. We're developing one, albeit probably 2 in Botswana as we sit. We'll have further information on that. And we're exploring in many, many highly prospective jurisdictions around the globe. And we're very much setting up our business to be a strategic business unit set up with overall arching control in terms of key parameters out of Western Australia, but certainly allowing those other business units around the globe to operate independently with good oversight from Australia. Recently, we looked at making sure that our business, we knew what we're about, and aligning our purpose, vision and strategy, and effectively what are we in the business of trying to do. And I've said it year in, year out, we're here to create value. And we do that in a number of different ways, but we're creating value for a number of different people. It's not just about the economic value, it's about a whole bunch of other things, and we list who the relevant interest groups that we think we're creating value for in doing that. Our vision very much is to build an international, sustainable and diversified resources company, and we're working very hard on that. And at the end of the day, we have 5 key strategic imperatives that we're looking at pursuing: execute, delivery, actually deliver on what we have got, and we're working hard at that in terms of operations development; build a sustainable production profile, talking about putting into our portfolio other operating opportunities or development opportunities, so third-party acquisitions or mergers or other business transactions to accelerate discovery, and we've got a huge push into that. We have some of our senior geologists in the room today, and please feel free to have a chat to them, but we would have in the order of 40 to 45 geologists in our group. We want to make sure that we have our people that are empowered, aligned, resourced appropriately, and we can give them everything they need. And we want to make sure that we can manage our business and economy in terms of our balance of capital structure and those financial attributes of our business, and also make sure that we educate and inform and are transparent with people to understand what we are and who we are and what we're doing. I'm not going to talk too much about copper. I've talked about it's a future-facing metal, great cliche, but it is a deep market. It's a market that at the moment is worth somewhere in the order of $220 billion US. It's a market that, depending on who you listen to, who you believe, Ivan Glassenberg from the ex-Glencore CEO, he would say that in the next 20 years we'll need two times what we've presently got in terms of being produced in the market for all of our requirements as a globe of people and all the aspirations we have. So somewhere in the order of potentially twice that market, 3 times that market. What we do see struggling in the market, and we have the advent of not only this urbanisation and base load industrial demand, but we also have the new wave of the transmission of electricity and what people are seeking in terms of EVs and various other things. So the demand looks very, very strong. So what I think will be challenged will be the declining grades globally. Technology will be a huge component in terms of progress in all the mining spaces, but certainly in the copper space. And as a consequence of all of that, I think the prognosis is for a stronger price in the longer term. Not just saying that, I think the demand-supply equation is one very much where it's on the side of strong demand and lacking in supply for a whole raft of reasons, which I'm not going to get into, but it's very much the case. So I think it's a very strong market. Focusing very much on what we're doing in Africa, Botswana, and we call it our Kalahari project, the Matheo project, and I extend my thanks and to all the effort and energy for our operations team in Botswana who've been working through the pandemic and ensuring that we continue to have great progress. So our Shikudu metal operations in Botswana have done a wonderful job, and I thank those people. But we're moving very forcefully and very strongly and very aspirationally in Botswana. We completed the optimised feasibility study of the Motheo project late last year. Immediately the board approved the development of the project. The numbers you see on the screen are all out of date. They will all be updated over the next 2 or 3 weeks as we have expansionary plans that have been we've been working on quite solidly over the last number of years. But needless to say, the project is full steam green light in development as we speak at the moment. And what I'm not going to do is dwell on those numbers. I've got a video which makes my presentation so easy, and that I'm going to present that right now and then wrap it up effectively. So I'm going to go straight into it.
Spanning almost 1,000 kilometres from the grassy savanna of northeastern Botswana to the semi-arid desert of central Namibia lies the Kalahari copper belt, one of the world's emerging copper provinces. Much like the giant deposits found in the nearby Central African copper belt, the rich copper mineralisation of the Kalahari is hosted within an extensive sedimentary basin. Between the regional centres of Maun and Hansi stretches the sealed A3 highway, linking some of the most significant new copper developments in the world. Just 80 kilometres southwest of Maun, Khoemacau Copper Mining's Zone 5 underground mine was commissioned in mid-2021 and is forecast to produce more than 60,000 tonnes of copper per year. 80 kilometres northeast of the town of Hansi, Sandfire Resources' exciting new Motheo copper project is taking shape. Sandfire's ground holding extends over most of the central and western portions of the Kalahari copper belt. In December 2020, Sandfire announced a final investment decision for the Motheo copper project, with an initial investment of $259 million. Preliminary site works for the Matheo project started earlier this year, with full-scale construction commencing in July, following the award of the mining licence by the government of Botswana. The cornerstone of the Motheo copper project is the T3 deposit. T3 is an extensive sedimentary-hosted copper-silver deposit. Mineralisation extends over a 2-kilometre strike length and approximately 700 metres down dip, where it remains open at depth. The deposit consists of numerous sub-parallel zones of mineralisation, which strike and dip parallel to a northwest dipping thrust zone. Calculated as part of the December 2020 feasibility study, T3 has an indicated and inferred mineral resource of 480,000 tonnes of contained copper and 21.8 million ounces of contained silver, and an open pit ore reserve of 360,000 tonnes of contained copper and 15.6 million ounces of silver. The T3 deposit will be mined using conventional truck and shovel open cut mining methods. The pit will be developed in 4 stages, with a total of 40 million tonnes of ore mined at a strip ratio of 6:1. Sandfire has appointed the open pit mining contract for the T3 pit to African Mining Services, a subsidiary of Parenti Global Limited. The contract, with an estimated value of $496 million, is the largest single contract for the project and will be implemented via a joint venture with a local Botswanan partner. In addition to the open pit mining operation, the Matheo T3 project will include a 3.2 million tonne per annum ore processing plant that is readily scalable to 5.2 million tonnes per annum, a world-class double-lined tailings storage facility, mine infrastructure, access roads and a dedicated 750-bed accommodation village, and a power transmission system linked to the Botswana power grid. The 3.2 million tonne per annum process plant is based on a simple and robust metallurgical flow sheet comprising standard components for primary crushing, grinding and classification, flotation, thickening and filtration, storage and loadout. Based on current ore reserves, the Matheo DFS has outlined an initial 12.5-year operation, with annual production of approximately 30,000 tonnes of contained copper and 1.2 million ounces of contained silver over the first 10 years of operation. Robust operating margins are driven by forecast all-in sustaining costs of just $1.76 US per pound. Concentrate will be trucked 1,000 kilometres along the A3 highway to the modern port of Walvis Bay in Namibia for export to global markets. Reflecting its confidence in the long-term future of the Matheo project, Sandfire has approved an additional upfront investment of $20 million for additional processing capacity, providing a clear pathway to a 5.2 million tonne per annum production rate. The most advanced opportunity for the expanded operation is the A4 deposit, located 8 kilometres west of T3. This exciting recent discovery has delivered some of the highest grade drill results ever seen in the Kalahari copper belt. Sandfire has recently announced an updated indicated and inferred mineral resource for A4 of 134,000 tonnes of contained copper at a grade of 1.4% copper. A feasibility study is well underway on the development of A4 as additional ore feed to an expanded 5.2 million tonne per annum Matheo production hub. Sandfire expects to make a decision on the A4 development and plant expansion prior to the commissioning of the Matheo process plant. Development of the Matheo project is now underway, with mining scheduled to commence in early 2022 and first production targeted for the first half of 2023. The T3 development is expected to deliver a major boost to the regional economy, generating approximately 1,000 jobs during the construction phase and around 600 direct full-time jobs during operations. At least 95% of the total mine workforce will be Botswanan citizens. An estimated 1,500 indirect jobs supplying provisions, parts, services and support are also expected to be created. The Motheo copper project is expected to be the catalyst that unlocks the potential of Sandfire's vast tenement holdings within the Kalahari copper belt. The structures, which host strata-bound copper mineralisation at the new Khoemacau copper operation, are interpreted to continue for more than 150 kilometres onto the Sandfire licences. Sandfire has identified numerous priority targets for drilling, including the A1, T2E, A27, A13 prospects and the deeper NPF contact. Many of these targets have been identified using state-of-the-art electromagnetic or EM surveys, which have proven to be an effective exploration targeting tool. Botswana is a safe, democratic, politically stable and mining-friendly jurisdiction with a supportive government, ranked first in Africa and the 11th most attractive country globally for mining investment by the Fraser Institute Annual Survey of Mining Companies. It also holds Africa's strongest credit rating of BBB+ from S&P. The development of its Matheo copper project will support Sandfire's ongoing vision to build an international, diversified and sustainable mining company. Sandfire's operations in Botswana will launch a new era of growth, with progressive, dynamic and socially responsible management serving both investors and communities. Sandfire is looking forward to playing a significant role in the development of the mining industry in the wider Kalahari copper belt and supplying highly prized minerals essential to the decarbonisation of the global economy. Sandfire, creating value through opportunity.
I think it's fair to say from my perspective, the opportunity in Botswana for us and what we've seen there, having visited there for the first time, looking at another opportunity some 5 years ago, is enormous to say the least. We're talking about a mineral belt that is probably the only one in the world from a base metals and copper perspective that has got an accelerating rate of discovery. There has been no systematic exploration of any great moment throughout that belt. We stretch through the belt some 400 kilometres in a lateral sense, northeast to southwest, and somewhere in the order of 200 to 250 kilometres in terms of width. We have got a plethora of targets that we cannot keep up with, and it really is a process of getting through the pandemic, getting access to equipment, getting access onto the ground, but we are inundated with wonderful opportunities. And if I said we had an exploration clock or a project development clock, we're about 30 seconds past the hour in terms of what needs to be done there, and we've got 59 and a half minutes to go. So it's a wonderful opportunity. I'm really excited about being there. We'll be investing somewhere in the order of $300 to $400 million US over the next couple of years. I expect that there will be more than one mine. We already know there will be two. We'll be coming out with announcements over the next probably 3, 4, 5 weeks that talk about some wonderful exploration results we're expecting to come through. We'll also be talking about an expansion. We talk about this video of a 3.2 million tonne facility expanding. It's likely 99.99% we're going to go straight through to an expanded facility of 5.2 million tonnes and producing somewhere in the order of 55 to 60,000 tonnes of copper, essentially on a ramp up over a short period of time. All things being equal, we'll be in production in around April of 23, and I think we'll be there for many, many decades to come. So the opportunity to do something in a new frontier is exceptional, and we're really excited about that, and we thank the government. We thank the Minister who'll be presenting later on today for being able to work with us to achieve some of the key milestones, particularly our mining licence issued, which is that gold star there on that time frame. Essentially, on the 7th of July this year, we received the approval of the mining permit, which is the last key permit that we needed to receive to move into full steam ahead in terms of construction. We are well funded in terms of Sandfire at the moment with just under $600 million in the Treasury, and in fact cash flow still generating out of De Grassa and Monty in Western Australia here of significant, many hundreds of millions of dollars this year, which will enable us to rapidly develop this project. We have committed to all long lead items. They're all been ordered, and we're full steam ahead. So very, very exciting time as we work through that program. The belt, just to harp on the belt, you know, that everything you see in that pinky apricot colour is what Sandfire has. It's hands-on. The number of anomalous features there are multicoloured in various dots there. But as I say, there's a plethora. We're focusing on the T3A4 region, the expanded region. There are a number of other potential satellite mines that will be in that region. We already have ordered a gyratory crusher at the front end of the plant that will do probably in excess of 6 million tonnes per annum. So we're really setting ourselves up for success and wanting to make sure that we do it right from the beginning. So we're moving quickly there. Once again, lots of opportunities. I'm not going to talk so much about exploration. It's not my forte. Please go and speak to Julian Hanna, who's having a ball in Botswana, soon to have 5 rigs moving to 8 rigs, and soon to be making many, many more discoveries, I have no doubt. But when you look at opportunities like the A4 Dome, which is somewhere in the order of a 9-kilometre strike length that he's working on at the moment, it is just so much potential that will come through, and we'll see some of that. We're also seeing some of the highest grades ever, which we're still trying to understand through that belt, of up to what says 7% here, but we have intersections up to 16% copper over reasonably good width, and we're trying to understand that. We have 3 or 4 different styles of mineralisation occurring, and we need to understand that well, but the opportunity is immense and not to be underestimated. I'm not going to really talk about too much geology, other than there are a number of similar looking features, and we just can't wait to get on there and drill them. Really, just to wrap it up, trophy slide for De Grusser. It is in its twilight years, as I read in the press today, but essentially an amazing mine discovered for a penny dreadful junior, a 4-cent company, made a discovery in Western Australia. That's effectively what it's achieved to date. It's been enormous, and the last year that we've just had has been the best year we've ever had. And it's a testament to those people as well, that they're operating a mine and they've never done it better. It's harder and they're doing it better. Less mining dilution, better metallurgical recovery. So the team at that site have done a fantastic job, and they continue to do it, and it's put us in very good stead. We're one of the largest tenement holders in Western Australia, and we think there's still much, much more to come from that greater Dulgana province, north of Meekatharra, where we have the 2 mines, De Grusser and Monty. So we're very excited, and we still continue to explore. Some $16 million this year. Botswana will be somewhere in the order of $20 million. We also have a project in Montana which we've in final feasibility. We're actually looking at improving the economics of that project. We have got that project permitted. It was the first new hard rock mining permit that was issued in Montana in 24 years, and we're working through a small legal challenge and looking to improve those economics of that project, which I have no doubt will come. The last time any exploration was done on this project was back in the mid-80s. And we're looking forward to developing that in due course. I'd like to see that with a push button to go ahead in the next 24 months, and I think that can happen. So where we are at the moment, we are moving. We're very aspirational. We really are looking to chase wonderful opportunities around the globe. And whilst I've talked about the things we're looking at the moment, off the resources that we have, we're actually looking at many other opportunities around the globe. Where we can get in the middle of and actually apply our skills from our very good team and systems as well. So I'm going to wrap it up there. Thanks very much for your time today. And I'm not sure if we're going to the next presenter, but at least I'm a little bit under time.